Hi everybody, this is Arnav from Leap Ahead Math. This is a solution to problem 1 for week 16 3D geometry. In warm-up problem number 4, how many cubes in all would be in a similar tower of 5, 6, and 7 layers? So if you remember in warm-up 4, there were 4 layers on the block structure. And the way we found out the number of cubes is that we calculated the number of cubes in each layer. And we did this by adding up each layer like this. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. And we got a total of 20 cubes in warm-up 4. Now how would we find it for 5 layers? Well, we simply need to find the number of cubes in the 5th layer, and we do it just like this. 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 for the 5th layer, and then we add up the number of cubes in warm-up 4, or if there were 4 layers. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. And we'd find a total of 35 cubes. If there were 6 layers, what do you think we're going to do? Yes, we're going to do a very similar way to find the number of cubes in the 6th layer. If there were 6 layers, to find the number of cubes in the 6th layer, we do 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 and add it to the number of cubes in the if there were 5 layers, and we already know that's 35. So the number of cubes in the 6th layer, if there were 6 layers, would be 56 cubes. If there were 7 layers, we'd adopt a very similar method, find the number of cubes if there were 7 layers, and then add it to the number of cubes in 6 layers, and we would get a total of 84 cubes in 7 layers. Part B to this problem is, suppose the bottom layer of a similar tower has 91 cubes. How many layers would there be? Now, as we saw in the figure, if there were 4 layers in that figure, there were 10 cubes in the bottom layer. Now, 10 is equal to 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. As we can noticeably see in the figure, and we can count. Now, if we added an extra layer, if there were 5 layers in other words, then the number of cubes in the bottom layer would be 15, which is equal to 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. If we added a 6th layer, then the number of cubes in the bottom layer would be 21, which is equal to 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. Have we noticed a pattern yet? Well, if we have, why don't we find the number of cubes in the bottom layer if the figure had between 7 and 13 layers? Now, if the cube had 7 layers, we could simply add 7. And why? If you notice here, the jump is plus 5. Here, the jump is plus 6. So, therefore, we can assume that the jump between in layers 6 and 7 would be plus 7. And 21 plus 7 is 28. Now, we can do this for all of the number of layers. So, if we add 8 to find figure 8, we would know that 28 plus 8 is equal to 36. If we added 9, we would know that the number of cubes in the bottom layer would be 45. And we just need to keep doing this for every layer. If we add 10 to 45, we know that it is equal to 55. If we add 11 to 55, we know that it is equal to 66. If we add 12 to 66, we know that it is equal to 78. And if we add 13 to 78, we get 91. The question asked, how many layers would there be if there are 91 cubes in the bottom layer? Using this method, we know that there would have to be 13 layers for there to be 91 cubes in the bottom layer.